Today, from CenturyLink Field in Seattle, Washington, it's a special Christmas Day edition of the NFL on EA Sports.
We are just about set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. A few moments ago, they raised the 12th man banner, and this place, as usual, rocking and rolling. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Minnesota Vikings and the Seattle Seahawks. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And a glance here at their quarterback, standing 6'3".
Okay, I thought there was something to build on in last week's game by his performance. I thought he played fairly well overall. The numbers won't knock your socks off. 2 touchdown passes and an interception. The bottom line, though, they lost.
Yeah.
How does he eliminate that one interception, continue to take care of the ball, and maybe increase the number of times he puts the ball in the end zone with a receiver?
They'll come out throwing here on first down. It's caught on the right side at Smith. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down. The numbers there in last week's game for Smith. 7 catches, 89 yards.
And I get the feeling that he loves this matchup. I mean, the unit he's going against is in the bottom half of the league against the pass. He had to have circled this one on the schedule and said to himself, this should be a big game.
Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Darrell Taylor, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And that is incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
So on 4th down, Britton Colquitt on to punt. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Yard line. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
A handoff as they run the counter play. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line.
He was brought down by...
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. They go play action now. Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Yannick Ngakoue make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Vikings taking the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach Can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. 79 yards. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. And nothing too crazy there. A quick slant, and then he just had a seam. He found a seam.
And when you hit it on the run like that, and I mean the pass right to the receiver who's already in motion and moving, sometimes he just takes it and runs away from everyone else.
And he ran it into the end zone. And the defense, they've got to adjust there quickly. That's tough on them.
That's really tough because everything was executed well. Ball was out of his hands quickly, into the hands of the receiver, and then he was gone.
At their own 28-yard line.
Out comes the Seattle offense. We take a peek at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, don't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
And this will be caught at the 30. And he is finally out of bounds all the way down at the 30. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 42 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So the big play has him all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. He's going to air it out for Dorsett. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
They decided to take a shot and right down the middle of the field. And really, they didn't give it as much time to develop, did they? They want to take that shot somewhere around the 15-yard mark.
And the defense able to recover, bat it free. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. DK Metcalf, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Seahawks just an extra point away from tying this thing up. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And this will make it into the end zone. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
And now out comes Minnesota. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Give them a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event.
And the Seahawk defense gets to him and they bring him down.
The quarterback sacked.
You know, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
First and 10.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40.
A gain of 2.
The numbers for him from a week ago. 16 carries, 85 yards, and a touchdown.
They've won 2 straight games, and they've done it with the running game as the focal point of their offense. So in this contest, I don't think about doing anything else. I continue to ride the hot hand that I've established and lead with the runners.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
Dance class, anyone? Did you see the steps between the quarterback and the running back?
What you need for a good
play?
counter.
You have to have it because you're setting up your blocking. There's a timing element as well, but they have to marry up their steps. Otherwise, that timing gets thrown out the window.
Timing was great there and a big run. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. That time a little misdirection really seemed to fool the defense.
And think of it this way. From the time you're in high school, you're taught to watch film and pick up tendencies. Sometimes they can use those against you, though, when they break their own tendencies and hit you back the opposite direction, huh?
And he'll get 4 there, down to about the 12-yard line.
Eric Hendricks.
So if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. These two teams all tied after one.
The score tied 7-7.
On third down, Carson. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
A gain of 3.
Now Zane Gonzalez for the field goal try. Gonzalez's kick is good. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead.
Score Seahawks 10.
So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
Now this will make it into the end zone, and it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return.
25-yard line.
Minnesota now ready for their next possession. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. A run there with Cook, not going to accomplish much. Call it no gain. 2nd down coming up. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quadre Diggs. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
A handoff as they run the counter play. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
This defense has really flown around in the first half. They've gotten to the ball carrier before they can really get started. Offense got to come up with something else in order to try and get this running game going.
So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. Now, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
It's good to make it 17-7. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it all culminates with a Seattle score.
Michael Dixon, the kickoff for Seattle.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Now this will make it into the end zone. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25.
Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Darrell Taylor make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah, what's going on? It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
That's a good bounce-back play right there after taking a sack on 1st down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings.
Minnesota.
A big play there. With his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game. And the Vikings are able to make this a close game again.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that in the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
At their own 28-yard line.
DK Metcalf for the Seattle offense about set to take over once again. We're in the second quarter. He already has 2 touchdowns. We know how good he is. That's well documented. How do you contain him?
We know he's a nightmare. So in this situation, I would go ahead and double him. Maybe even have a 3rd person in the area and try and dissuade them from throwing him the football. Make someone else beat me for a while because I don't know that their talents are his. Because when he gets his hands on the ball, he breaks down my entire D. Someone else, they may not make the same type of a play.
Well, we know his talents are very good. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. And now following that sack, looks like we've got an injured man down there on the field. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. From the shotgun, Wilson. And the throw there going to be incomplete. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. A good work bringing that one back as he picks up about 16 on the return. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure... Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now? No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. He was trying to find Justin Jefferson there. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
The Vikings on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Over the middle to Smith. And they'll get this across the midfield stripe, but still winding up short of the 1st down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they're able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence, does a great deal for your team, gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fill him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
He's coming. Double 19. He's coming. Double up. 45, 45, 45. Come on, 45. Get that quarterback.
From the gun, it's Wilson. And a quick throw here that's complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. He and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
This is intercepted. Picked off at the 12. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line.
Intercepted by the Vikings.
Well, look, we're watching a quarterback here that's obviously been around for a long time. That's a throw he wishes he had back.
He certainly does, but as you well know, this is a guy that's used to taking a few chances, used to fitting it into tight windows. These are throws that he's made.
And a loose football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And some space here. There he goes left side. And they bring this one back. It's a fumble recovery and a Seattle touchdown. The pass receiver turned into a runner, then he turned into a fumbler, and it goes the other way for 6.
I love your description. Although for the offense, they're not too happy about it. But for the defense, what a big-time play for them. Never give up on anything. Sometimes you create your own points.
But the receiver, hard to fault him. He's just going for extra yard.
That's exactly what you're supposed to do, but you have to take care of the football.
This will make it into the end zone. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it. But you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
At the 31-yard line. A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Now Cook, he's got it off the draw. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
On the tackle.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he's got his tight end, that's Smith.
The pass.
Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
It's a gain of 6. First down, Minnesota.
They'll look to throw. Smith catches left side. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. A 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a 1-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. This one brought in by Jefferson. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Again, he'll drop to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And the Seahawks are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Say hello to Eric Kendricks. He gets the sack there. And they went empty backfield, and because of that, nobody was there to pick up the blitz.
And you know that offenses, when they go with the empty backfield, they have different things designed on every play to try to account for things. But what people often forget, defense is audible as well. Audible right into a blitzing situation.
So I'm waltzing down Main Street, got an umbrella, just a torrential downpour, and I look over, and this guy, stone-faced, wearing a poncho that says, "Don't rain on my parade," and he is just angry. And we got to go. I'll tell you the rest later. Here we go, 3rd quarter.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on Here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
25.
They go play action with Wilson. And he fires one incomplete. Philip Dorsett, the intended receiver. And that'll make it third down.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
On third down, Wilson. And he's got Lockett. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Now they try the right side here. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
55, go.
Third and long, it's Wilson. Forced out to his left. He can run for it. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Vikings pick up the football.
Wilson on the keeper.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether he's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Yeah, well, he had the fumble last week. Now here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Concentration has got to be there, and he's got to understand how much time he has to take care of a play, and maybe his clock is off just a little bit.
Stepping up, he'll try and run. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry.
The best quarterbacks that ever played the game all wanted to blend in with their teammates and be one of the guys. But sometimes you got to take modesty and put it aside. You're the franchise quarterback, the face of the team, and the guy that leads them to victory. You have to get down and protect yourself and not take hits like that.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
Well, it's tough time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave him with some options here on 4th and inches.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Down here in the third quarter, obviously that's one they could have used.
Yeah, one of my favorite special teams coaches in the NFL told me what separates the kickers in the NFL versus the ones who are not is not the misses. It's the second miss in a row. Best kickers in the league, they don't miss 2 in a row. He's got to get his head back together in case he gets another shot.
Jeff Gladney able to come up and make the tackle. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now they'll run it on the toss. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up third down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. A Seahawk first down as Wilson finds Lockett.
Really? Really? Did we just see that? That's a big... Catch, one-handed, I might add, to pick up a first down.
I was going to say on third down for the defense, it's one thing to give up a reception. You just kind of shake your head on a one-handed catch to pick up the first. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Touch 50, touch 50.
2nd and 10 now, Wilson. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
To throw again is Wilson. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
3-yard line. And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode. Really?
And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32.
Brandon, more often than not, you'd say they've had his number, and we can count them up so far. 1, 2, 3, 4 sacks given up. But guess what? He's still been able to make some plays, and right now they have a lead.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Wilson. And his throw is incomplete. There to knock that one away defensively, Eric Kendricks.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
To throw is Wilson. Throwing on 3rd and long. He'll find Metcalf. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I think we all understand his disappointment. Didn't quite get to the end zone, and you know it's just got to be tough to see a yard line underneath you after a play like that. Still, all in all, a huge play.
And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Chris Carson with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical, that's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
At their own 25-yard line.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, though.
It does test the mental processes of a team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to the stretch? And guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, though, right?
You know, truthfully, I did.
Good.
I always did because those guys, they won us a whole lot of games.
A gain of just a yard, but it's a 1st down.
1st down, Vikings.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Seahawks 31, Vikings 14.
They'll set up to throw. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dante Pettis. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fielded just outside the goal line. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
Over first and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Seattle again getting ready to take over offensively. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it. And the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
0-0-0. Check. 3 down.
On 2nd down, they'll try and run the counter. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
Number 20.
This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this fourth quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the fourth quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done, because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
To throw on 3rd down. Wilson escaping the pressure right. Now he'll let it. He's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
On 1st down, Wilson. They'll run the screen with Carson. A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
To throw again on 2nd down. Wilson, that is caught at the 7. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here. This close, sneak it.
I don't think you even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know it sounds really generic and it sounds almost trite, but the blocks were made up front, offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback.
25-yard line.
And now out comes Minnesota. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
An incomplete, crisis averted, almost picked. Instead, second down.
At the 25-yard line.
The throw over the middle taken in. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
3 yards the gain there, second down.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Daquan Jones fighting his way home to get the sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. On third down, he'll drop to throw. That's to Dalvin Cook, his running back. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over. He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 17-yard line. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook.
The pass.
That catch good for only a couple. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Justin Jefferson, his fourth touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. Here's Wilson. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Minnesota.
Well, don't change that channel just yet. This one may have gotten a bit more interesting.
Put down the remote, put down the clicker. This one looked like it was over. It looked like they were ready to seal the deal. But in doing so, by pitching it around a little bit, it cost them. We could have a great finish.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. 70 seconds remain. This will be an onside kick. And the Seahawks, looks like they've recovered. They have. The fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8.
14.
Going to give this time to the tailback. Calling a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a third and about 5. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you watch high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
Third and medium, they opted to run instead of pass, and it worked. First down. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line.
Down at the 31.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
It's 2nd and 8.
Play action. It's Wilson. He'll buy some time right. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down.
25.
Wilson to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Eli Apple, but he will not